What's good, y'all? It's your boy BioSpider 3.0, keeping the action going with another figure announcement video. All right, man. So today we got some big news. Man, I wish I could have got this video out to you guys a little bit sooner. But recently we did get the announcement from SooSooToys that we are finally getting in 6 scale the Thunder Rangers, man. I am so freaking excited for these figures. ThatMetroMania and I have been talking back and forth, and I've been just, telling him how excited I am to, for Soso to, make the Thunder Rangers at some point. I didn't know we were gonna get them this soon. I honestly thought it was gonna be a while. After we got the, Ninja Storm Red figure, I love that figure, and I was like, man, we need the Thunders in 6 scale because these are two of my favorite Ranger designs of all time. I absolutely love the Thunder Rangers, man, so much. Obviously I have them in 12 scale right now. The SH Figure Arts, those were the first SHF figures that I ever owned, and I absolutely love them. But now we're finally getting them in 6 scale, so the details are going to be even more amazing, and the fact that they're going to be actual like fabric figures is just going to look so freaking awesome. And so I'm super duper excited that Soso has announced these. I woke up to some of the best news one day. Soso is just dropping bangers after bangers. So you guys already know I covered their Wild Force 5-pack that's going to be coming out next year as well. So I covered that maybe a couple months ago, a few months ago. And then not long after that, we got the announcement that these guys were coming out, and it's a 2-pack. So that is, I think this is like the first 2-pack that they've released, and I'm just super excited. It's nice that they have them grouped together, so you don't have to buy them individually, and I'm just so freaking stoked for this, man. Oh, these guys look awesome. So just getting into the pricing and all that. So you have you can either do the full payment as usual, or you can do your deposit, which in this case is $60. They are expected to release Q2 of 2027, so next year. So between April and probably June of next year, that's when these guys should hopefully be released. Hopefully Soso doesn't push them back. But yeah, that's the plan for right now. And then let's see. Slide the camera over just a bit so you guys can see this. So here's the description. This item is in pre-order status and released by Q2 2027. Again, so the full price is going to be $320. I know that is a lot, but thankfully, again, you don't have to pay the full price, right up front. You can just drop your security deposit, which is right now just $60. Not bad, right? You pay your 60, and then you pay the remaining 260 when the time comes when they get released. They'll send you the invoice and let you know that they are ready to be shipped out, and so you just pay your the rest of your payment, and then they will get shipped out to you. So yeah, so here we go. SST-098A Thundery Red Ninjas. So yeah, it's funny they call these the Thunder Rangers the Thundery. So yeah, Thundery Red and Thundery Blue. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, this collectible figure especially features one detailed masked helmet, body with over 30 points of articulation, approximately 30 centimeters tall, so about around like 12 inches, just like all the other figures. 12 pieces of interchangeable gloved hands, including one pair of relaxed hands, one pair of fists, one pair of opening palm hands, one pair of ninja hands, 2 pairs of hands for holding weapons. All right, and then your costume on the figure, one red clothes with logo, right? So he's got his Beetle logo on there. One pair of red boots, one gold belt. And then weapons, he has his back baton, which is the Thunder Staff, of course, in the holstered mode. One long staff, right? The Thunder Staff in its fully extended mode. You have the Beetle Blaster, all right? Or, the Crimson Blaster, or Hornbreaker. And then you have the double gadget. They spell double like double, double gadget, right? So yeah, you do actually have the option to connect both of their weapons and make the double gadget or the thunder cannon, which is super dope. So I'm very, very excited about that. And yeah, so they'll be able to hit poses where they're actually using the double gadget. That's gonna look so freaking good in pictures. You get your figure stand. And then, yeah, prototype shown, final product may be slightly different, right? They always mention that as a disclaimer. And for the Blue Ranger, Thundery Blue Ninja, you have basically the same thing. One detailed masked helmet, body over 30 points of articulation, about 30 centimeters tall. Yeah, he basically has the exact same things that I just listed, except obviously his costume is gonna be blue, but they're gonna basically have all the same, weapons and whatnot. So yeah, it's gonna be really, really dope when these guys come out. I've been so freaking excited. Like, I've been talking, like I said, to Metro about this for months now. How I'm just super stoked for to get the Thunder Rangers in 6 scale. And the funny thing about it is, I actually had plans to get these guys from a different company, believe it or not, because as much as I love So-So, I didn't think that they were gonna get around to it, all that quickly. So I was getting a little impatient. I was like, man, I really want the Thunder Rangers in 6 scale. I was like, I need them, man. I need them. And so Metro had actually told me about another company called Hoops Toyz, who is doing their own version of a 6 scale, Thunder Rangers. So I was really excited about that. And I followed their Instagram page recently. They announced, their versions coming out a little while back. It's been some months now, but they didn't have like any promo pics or anything, like no actual like prototype pics at the time. All they had was just kind of like a silhouette of like each ranger, like each of them like standing next to each other, and it was just like a silhouette, and they were just basically teasing that their rangers were going to come out eventually. And then ironically, right after So-So announced that these guys were coming out, Hoops Toyz, I think like literally the next day, they dropped a video of their version, their Rangers basically, like it was like a small video of like them rotating on like a display base, and they were all posed up looking really dope. And I was like, wow, man, the irony in that. So they knew, Hoops obviously knew that they would have competition with So-So So-So announced theirs first. So, Hoops obviously, in order to kind of get theirs out there, they knew they had to drop something kind of like revealing them the next day. And that's what they did on their Instagram. So now we have 2 options for 6 scale Thunder Rangers. So I'm super excited about that. I've been talking to caff.lector, all right, as well on Instagram. And my boy has, kind of like ties with So-So and whatnot. And he was also, working with Hoops. And he actually sent me a bunch of photos, which was dope. I got some of the photos that Hoops put out. I actually got some of those like early because caff.lector, he was working with them, and they obviously gave him pics and whatnot. So he sent me some of their pics early. So I had the honor of seeing some of those early pics. And I gotta say the Hoops ones look really good as well. So just to show you those really quick. I actually had plans to get these first, but you guys already know it. Like at this point, I'm pretty loyal to So-So, so obviously I had to go with the So-So. I already put my pre-order in for them, but just to show you guys what the Hoops ones look like, these are the Hoops version of the Thunder Rangers right here. So let me make sure I can get all this in frame. So their version is called the Shinobi Brothers, all right? Because in this entire they say Shinobi Change. So the Shinobi Brothers 1/6 action figure hero set, and then this is what theirs look like. Or I'll show you the photos in order here, but let me see if I can blow these up. Oh, okay, not really. but yeah, basically these are some of the photos that they've released for theirs. So, and you can see with these Hoops ones, they actually come with a 6 scale Kelzak, which I am like so freaking envious of, because I really want a Kelzak. Like a 6 scale Kelzak would go crazy. Like you would actually be able to have somebody fighting, the Thunder Rangers in 6 scale. Oh man, like we need like 6 scale enemies, man. I was telling Metro about that too. I was like, we need, foot soldiers and like villains, generals and stuff, so that these Rangers can actually like fight. Like obviously it's dope enough just having 6 scale Rangers, but man, to have like enemies would be really, really dope, especially for like photography and stuff. So hopefully maybe at some point So-So will give us enemies as well, like some Kelzaks, or or even like the big villains, maybe Lothor, Chubo, Zergane, somebody like that. That would be really, really dope. But for now, at least we have 2 options for the Thunder Rangers in 6 scale. So I'll go ahead and show you another photo that they have. Here's another one. This is really dope. This is basically like the kind of like the silhouette that they had in the beginning before they revealed like what the actual figures were gonna look like. They kind of had both of them just like in a cross arm pose, like next to each other, very similar to this. But yeah, I really like that shot there. Zoom in on that a little bit. That is a really like dope shot, man. I love that. Very nice. And you can see the hoops, the material that they use for the Hoops toys is like very comparable to SooSooToys. If I had to guess, I mean, obviously this is just like speculation because I don't own any Hoops, Rangers. But if I had to guess, I would say that SooSooToys quality will probably be slightly better than Hoops. But I mean, Hoops looks really like damn close. Like they're almost like neck and neck. The fabric looks absolutely amazing. One of the details or like differences I will point out that I noticed, when caff.lector sent me some of those, early images of the Hoops ones, I noticed that what appears is going to be like some slight differences between the Hoops and the SooSooToys Thunder Rangers is that I want to say their costumes, like the fabric that they use for the costumes on Hoops, it seems like it's going to be a little bit more reflective, a little more shiny, which is cool. I actually kind of like that for the suits. I like it when the suits like reflect a lot of light and look more like spandex, like how they do in the show. So I think that's pretty cool. And then it also seems like their gloves and boots are also gonna have more of like a shiny, glossy finish compared to the SooSooToys ones, which typically have like a matte finish for gloves and boots. So that's something that I noticed in the photos that he sent me and some of the photos that Hoops posted. So I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, I mean, these Hoops ones look absolutely amazing as well. So just to show you a few more photos, that's a really dope photo right there of them both in like an action pose. You can see that, like, look at that. You got Blue just midair doing a kick with the Navy antler or the stag breaker, and then you got Crimson right next to him in a nice pose about to use the Crimson blaster. I'm sorry about that. Move the camera over a bit. But yeah, I mean, these guys look so freaking dope when they're posed up, or even in just like a vanilla pose. These guys go hard. But here's a picture of them using their double gadgets. So yeah, Hoops is giving them basically pretty much like all the same like weapons and stuff that come with the SooSooToys ones. They're gonna obviously have the same ones, like the variations of the Thunder Staff and all that. But and then I think one thing that Hoops may have over the SooSooToys ones is that I noticed Blue is gonna have he's gonna be able to make his Kazuki breaker, or that's what they call it in the Sentai. But basically, that's like the staff where he's able to put the Navy antler like on top of it. So I thought that was really cool. I was hoping that SooSooToys was gonna do that too. Maybe they will. You guys know, like sometimes if you reach out to SooSooToys, sometimes they will respond. So I may just like reach out to them and ask them if they can do that as well. But I do know for a fact that Hoops, the Blue Thunder Ranger, he's going to be able to attach the stag breaker on top of his staff and use that as an extra weapon. So that is really cool. And then what else? Let's see. Yeah, here's another. This is a really dope photo. So they got their Kelzak, right? And then they've got, Crimson shooting him. That's a really dope pose right there. Here's another one where he's kind of like punching Superman, punching the Kelzak in the face, which is dope. Really nice shots that they took for these Hoops ones. And then this is basically just one laying out all the accessories and the Kelzak right there on the side. And the Kelzak comes with his little sickle weapon, the little red thing that they use in Ninja Storm. So he's got all of that. And then he's got a couple of hands, or looks like two pairs of interchangeable hands. He comes with fist hands, I guess, already on him. But yeah, this looks so freaking good, man. Like oh man, this was a hard one for me, man. I was trying to figure out which ones were better, and I was asking caff.lector, I was like, which ones do you think I should go with, bro? Like, cause you've got experience with both figures now, or like both companies. I was like asking him like, which one do you think would be like a better bet? And he said, honestly, you can't go wrong with either one. He said, the Hoops ones are going to fit in perfectly with the SooSooToys ones. They're like in the same scale. The body types are very similar. I feel like maybe the Hoops ones, the bodies on them might be like slightly more buff compared to the SooSooToys ones. but they still look really good. You know, they're not like overly buff or like overly muscly or anything like that. So you can see like right here, you can see like kind of like some of the muscle definition that they have kind of poking through their suits, which I think looks pretty cool. Like the abs, a little bit of the chest is like sculpted underneath. You can kind of see that more coming through the suit. But they don't look, you know, overly developed or anything. Same thing with the arms. I would say the arms look a little bit thicker than SooSoo's, but overall, man, I mean, you can't go wrong with either one, just like you said. So I'm super excited about this. Now, let's talk about price. So for the SooSoo ones, or sorry, the Hoops ones here, they're, I think this is their, so they're, if you do full payment for these, it's going to be $365, right? So theirs are a little more expensive compared to the SooSoo ones, but at the end of the day, you are getting more, right? You are, I think, getting slightly more accessories, or they might just be counting the Kelzak, honestly, because if you do the pre-order for these Hoops ones, it is gonna come with the Kelzak, so that's like a bonus right there. So yeah, let me see where it actually says that. Yeah, see right there, bonus. So the dual pack also features a limited exclusive bonus of HTZ-009, the Centipede Trooper, or Kelzak, right, with the following accessories. So Ninja Sickle, right, he's got the red little thing that the Kelzaks use, and then three pairs of optional hands. So yeah, I guess he's gonna, oh, I think, yeah, they're including the fists. So yeah, he probably comes out the package with like 2 fist hands, and then you have the optional, or the additional 2 pairs of hands as well. And then for your payment plan, it says, yeah, select this option to ease the financial burden, right? Pay a deposit, and then we will send you an invoice monthly until the item releases or is paid in full. All right, so that's just something to, you know, kind of help you guys out, because obviously that is a lot of money. So their full price is $365, but I was looking at their payment plan. If you do that, you can pay, I think, $125 up front, and then again, they'll send you like invoices monthly until you are able to, you know, pay the full price. And but yeah, so you have some options when it comes to the Thunder Rangers. Now, one of the things I want to mention is that if you get them, I would recommend getting them from TNS Figures, because they are going to be a little bit cheaper than Onesixthoutfitters. Let me zoom out here a bit. They are going to be a little bit cheaper than the Onesixthoutfitters, right, which is another company that I use. Or honestly, since like the first batch of figures, I really haven't used Onesixthoutfitters. I've been using TNS Figures exclusively, so I would recommend that for you as well. Only because again, the Onesixthoutfitters, they're a little bit more expensive, so their full price for the Thunder Rangers is going to be, for the SooSoo ones that is $329.99, and then you have the option of doing 100% full payment or a 25% non-refundable deposit. So I think like 25% of $329, it comes out to around like 82 something. So that would be like your deposit if you were to go with them. If you get them off of TNS Figures though, they're only $320, right? So that's a little bit, that's like a $9 difference, like $10 difference really, because it's $329.99. TNS, you only pay $320 for the full price, and their deposit is only $60. So, you know, either way, you're going to be paying less whether you go with the full payment or the deposit option. You're going to be paying less with the TNS Figures version. So that's what I would do if I were you. Not only that, the TNS Figures, like I mentioned before, they tend to ship out a little bit quicker compared to 1/6. So you'll not only, so you know, you'll be getting your Rangers early, and you'll be paying less for them. So, you know, might as well go with the cheaper option, right? And get your Rangers sooner. So yeah, that's what I would do personally. But yeah, man, I am so freaking excited for these two. I'm just losing my mind. I'm so glad that we finally get these. So let me show you guys some more photos of these SooSoo ones real quick, just so you have a comparison with the Hoops Rangers. So these are some of the promo images for the SooSoo ones. So I'm gonna scroll through. Yeah, this is a great picture right here that shows you all the ones that the SooSoo ones come with, or, you know, yeah, all the accessories and whatnot. So yeah, you got obviously both versions of the Thunder Staff, short and long. You got their cross mode version, right, which is really dope. You got the Crimson Blaster, Navy Antler, and then you can combine them to do the double gadget / Thunder Cannon. You got all these hands for red, all the hands for blue. obviously your display stand, your clear acrylic display stand. And yeah, man, I'm just super excited. There's two things that I wish like that are missing so far, at least in these pictures from the ones that I wish they would have come with, and that's being that you know, if you're able to combine the navy antler on one of the staffs for blue. I don't know if that'll be an option. Hopefully it will. Again, I'm gonna talk to SooSoo. I'm gonna reach out, see if maybe they can make that possible. But because you know it's early in production, so they should still have time to make that happen. But I'll see if they can maybe do that for us. But that would be really dope because again, I know the hoops ones are able. He's able to do that. And then I was also hoping that they would give them the thunder shields, like a 6 scale thunder shield. Oh man, I was really hoping they would give them that. Like I want them to always have all versions of their weapon. And it seems like Hoops and SooSoo doesn't have any options for a 6 scale thunder shield right now, or the circle moon mode. So hopefully at least one of those companies will give us a thunder shield. I think that would be a big one. So I definitely want to reach out to SooSoo about those. But for now, at least we have all the other versions of the Thunder Staff, which is really excellent. And then coming over here, we got a nice picture of Blue posed up. All right, looking really, really dope. I like this one too. He's got the full extended Thunder Staff behind him, kind of making a fist. That forest background goes hard. We got another one where he's got the double gadget. He's by himself, looking really cool. And we got one of Crimson right here, about to grab the staff out his back, or maybe he's holstering it back. But it looks really, really good. Love how the suits and the bodies look. Excuse me. And then you got one with him, Blue, using the cross mode, looking really dope. Or tornado star version of the staff, which looks really awesome. Love this. You got one of Red using the fully extended staff right here. Love that pose. That looks really dope. You got one of him using the cross mode, looking really, really nice. And one basically just like the that front pic, or like that promo image with him in blue, but this time it's just him and he's holding his crimson blaster in the forest, looking badass. So yeah, that is your SooSoo Thunder Rangers. So yeah, I'm super excited. Honestly, again, you can't go wrong with either one. So I recommend, honestly both of them, SooSoo and the Hoops ones. Depending on which ones you like more. Depending on again, like Hoops seems like they're gonna come with a little more. Obviously the Kelzak, right? If you do the pre-order, and then just like that extra staff option for Blue. So that is something to consider. But yeah, man, like I said, you really can't go wrong with either one. These are both going to be great in 6 scale. I am so freaking excited. Like I can't tell you how excited I am for these guys. So yeah, but those aren't the only Rangers that are coming out. We have a lot more. All right, so if you thought that was exciting, check this out, man. We got way more coming on the way. So not only do we have these guys, we have another 2-pack coming out, and guess who? That's right, Time Force Red and the Quantum Ranger coming out in a 2-pack as well. I am freaking, man, I'm losing my mind. We got so many Rangers on the way. I am losing it, man. So yeah, these guys are scheduled for Q2 as well of 2027. Their deposit is $60 again on TNS figures. So yeah, honestly, I recommend TNS because they are a little bit cheaper. Their full price is going to be $320, just like the Thunder Rangers. But yeah, so you have the red, and they call it the Red Time Guardian, and then the Cubit Guardian. I believe the Cubit, which one is which? I think, yeah, it's funny. I feel like they kind of like did it backwards as far as the names, because they called the Red Time Force Ranger the Cubit Guardian. You would think that was the Quantum Ranger, but it's actually the normal red, and then the Red Time Guardian is the Quantum Ranger. So yeah, I feel like they kind of like flipped the names there, but either way, that is them. So let me show you real quick some promo pics of them. So obviously, man, they're looking badass, right? So Quantum is going to come with his Quantum Defender in the Blade mode, as well as the Blaster mode right here. And then you have the 2 Chrono Sabers for Red, Time Force Red. Little close up of the belt, and then you have the hands and some display stands. Let me show you some other photos of these guys. Looking really, really dope. Red with both, like, the Chrono Sabers combined into a staff. Here's with just one saber. He's double handing it. Then you have Quantum Ranger with the the sword version of the Quantum Defender, looking dope. You got the separated Chrono Sabers for red here. You got one of him. You got Quantum Ranger holding the sword again in a nice action pose. Another one for you right there. And another one where he's actually holding it in blaster mode, which looks awesome. And yeah, so there's those guys. All right, so yeah, now we have Time Force Red and Time Force the Quantum Ranger, in a 2-pack as well. So just like, again, the Thunder Rangers, their full price is going to be $320. Your deposit will be $60 if you get them off of here. If you get them off of 1/6, they are going to be a little more expensive. I think they are, again, like $329.99, and then your deposit would be like $82 or something like that. So yeah, they are going to be a little more expensive if you get them off of 1/6, so just keep that in mind. Then we also have, next up, we have the Red Mystic Force Ranger, all right? Or as Soso is going to call him, the Fire Mage Ranger, all right? This guy is a single release, so his deposit will only be $48. Full price on him is going to be $178, all right? And just to show you some pics so you can see what he comes with. Oh man, this is going to look so good. I'm really excited to see how they handle the cloth cape on him. Because, obviously that's a signature for the Mystic Force Rangers. So I think a fabric cape is going to look really, really nice. I'm curious if they're going to make it. I doubt they'll do it wired. It's probably just going to like drape down. It doesn't really need to be wired, but I think it's going to look really cool in 6 scale. So you got him posed up with his sword there. I haven't seen Mystic Force since I was a kid, so I'm really, really excited for this guy. I'm going to get back into watching Mystic Force eventually as I continue my Ranger marathon. But yeah. So he's got both versions of the sword, holstered and, extended. Looking really good. Got some extra hands, magic using hands. You got a stand there. Nice action pose right there. Another one for you right there. And yeah, so he's looking good, man. So that is the Red Mystic Force Ranger that is also being released. And I know you guys are going to be excited about this next one. Check this out. That's right. We got SPD Red, or the Cheetah Buster. I'm not sure why they called him the Cheetah Buster. I think that's like a pretty random name, but maybe they were trying to say that he's like really good with speed. I mean, he is fast. Like, I mean, bro is, when he's locked and loaded, like he lets that thing off, bro, and he's quick with it. But yeah, we have SPD Red. I know my boy Metro was super excited for this one because he loves SPD. So yeah, we have the Red SPD Ranger coming out, and he's looking really, really dope. Look at that. He's got the two individual pistols right here. He's holding his badge morpher right there. All right, about to sentence somebody. All right, find him guilty. All right, and then you have so yeah, you can combine the blasters to make the the full mode. You can have them separated into the dual pistols. You got your SPD badge, multiple hands, and an acrylic display stand. And there's a close-up of the belt as well as his badge. So yeah, this guy is looking super dope. I know a lot of people are going to be excited for that because SPD is a popular season. I mean, who doesn't like SPD, man? That is looking really, really dope. Your boy Jack right there. I haven't seen Deca Ranger, the Sentai, so I'm not really sure what the Sentai name for this guy is, but yeah, you got him. So there we go. So yeah, you got SPD Red coming out. He is going to be about the same. He's a single release, so again, his deposit on TNS is $48. Full price again is $178, just like the Red Mystic Force. So yeah, you got him coming, and we still got more. Oh yeah, we're not done. We also have In Space Silver coming out. So check this guy out. Yeah, that's right. All my In Space fans, we got Silver. We got the boy Zane coming out. So he's looking really dope. So here he is. All right, show you what he comes with. A little close up of the helmet, the boots. You got his super silverizer right here, right, which seems to like it separates into different pieces, and I guess this piece actually moves. I think, yeah, I guess the blade actually kind of like swings out like in the show, so that's going to be really dope, so that you can have it in like both modes, because I think he does use it as a blaster too, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't know, I haven't seen in space in a little bit, but I think it does convert to a blaster as well. I could be wrong about that, in which case my bad. He's got some extra hands here, so it looks like 3 extra pairs of hands and an acrylic display stand. All right, so there's a nice little pose of him there. There's another one where he's using it. Yeah, it looks like he's using it as a blaster in this one. And then you got this one where he's using the blade version of the Silverizer. And yeah, so yeah, his deposit, again, 48. He's a single release, full price, 178. And these are all scheduled for Q2 of 2027, by the way. So yeah, man, super duper dope. And then the last one that we got is the all-in-one cyborg. Now, I've never heard of this ranger, but apparently he is like the first white ranger in Super Sentai. So yeah, I've never seen this guy like ever, so this design is new to me. But yeah, I guess you got this guy coming out. Not sure which ranger group he belongs to, but pretty cool design, right? All white suit, and you got like a rainbow of colors on his chest and his face. Got like a 1 at the top up there. He's got a cape, he's got a staff. So those of you guys that are familiar with this character, kind of let me know maybe in the comments where he's from, or if you like him, let me know a little bit about him in the comments. But yeah, I think this guy is like a Sentai exclusive or whatever, so he's like the first white ranger. But some pretty nice pics here of his staff and everything. Looking really, really good. He's like holding like a rocket or a missile, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, so there's your guy right there. So yeah, those are all the rangers that are coming out from SooSoo. So I am super duper excited. I wanted to make this announcement video so that you guys know that all these guys are up for pre-order. Again, I recommend TNS Figures, and I pray that you guys are able to get these guys in your collection. But yeah, let me know down below in the comments what you guys are most excited for. For me, it's got to be the Thunder Rangers, the Time Force, and SPD Red. Those are the ones I am like most excited for. Which ones do you plan on getting? Let me know if you plan on getting maybe the Hoops versions of the Thunders or the SooSooToys. Which ones do you think will be better? And yeah, we'll talk about it in the comments, man. But I am super excited. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.